Boom, bam. Thank you guys for subscribing. Over and out.
Are you struggling with the question, is your genetic good enough? Do you have good genetics? Especially for building muscle, getting fat loss, and doing bodybuilding. If this is your doubt, if these are your questions, then this episode is right for you. Stay tuned, and I'm going to explain everything to you pretty much with good news and fully raw and realistic news from my personal opinion. By the way, my name is Boris Kish, and welcome to my channel. I'm a professional fitness coach, nutritionist, and super heavyweight competitor. When I started, doing bodybuilding, my biggest disadvantage was that I was, and I still am, 193 centimeters tall, and this is too tall for bodybuilding. The ideal is up to 1 meter 78 centimeters. So even Ronnie Coleman was 180, and this is already too tall. And imagine me, I'm 13 centimeters taller than Ronnie Coleman. Not that I want to compare myself with Ronnie Coleman, and not that I think that I can in any way. But this was a huge minus, especially on when I was competing. You can see some of my competitions on the internet. There are videos about that there. So, and I was getting muscle easier, not super easy, but I was also getting a decent amount of fat. And then again, when I was losing fat, I was also losing a decent amount of muscles, So I didn't had any kind of God blessed genetics, neither was it easy for me. So I'm not telling you this in a way that I'm now self-victimizing myself or want your attention. I'm just explaining you that I had to go through all of that to explain to you now what actually work and what doesn't work. So first of all, how important is genetics? Without genetics, so let's speak completely directly. Without genetics, you cannot be a state champion. That's for sure. If you really have horrible genetics that your body structure is not as best possible for bodybuilding, if your bones are maybe too thick, if your shoulders are not really wide, unfortunately, if your waist is too wide, if you cannot get under the 5% of body fat, if you cannot put a really big amount of muscle, you won't be able to be a state champion. That's a fact. No matter what sport you are doing, I'm speaking for bodybuilding. If you are taller than me or tall as me, or you have some of the parameters that I was mentioning before, that's definitely going to be a huge disadvantage. So if your goal is to be Mr. Olympia or IFBB Pro, it's very high possibility that these obstacles will not allow you to achieve that. But on the other side, even if you have the worst possible genetics in the world, you can still look like a Greek god. You can put really a lot of high quality muscle on you. You can look like a movie star, and you can be fully defined. As I said, you can really look amazing and fantastic. Could you be like super, how can I say, proportional, balanced, that everything looks on the point a state champion? Probably not. But could you really look like some new action hero movie star? Yes, definitely you can. The only difference is that you have to approach this with more knowledge, and this is why I'm here and I'm really willing to help you. And you have to learn what body type are you. I mean, you have ectomorph. This is skinny guy who really puts muscles hard, but he's always lean. Then again, you have endomorph. This is, big bulky guy who can put a lot of muscle, but he's really wide and he is losing fat very slowly. And mesomorph, this is ideal. This is like when Flex Wheeler looked when he was, competing. I mean, even now when he's retired. I'm the combination of the first and the last. I'm definitely not mesomorph. That's the best option. And when you learned which body type you are and how you have to eat and how you're supposed to prepare your meals, what your nutrition is supposed to look, you won't have any problems, to look and to have your desired body. I saw on the stage competitors and who lost 100 kilos, believe it or not, around 200 pounds, and their goal was to go on the stage and to try that. Not to win anything, but just not to embarrass themselves and to prove to themselves and to be proud of themselves that they were able to go from completely obese state to a bodybuilding competition. And they didn't want any medal, but they were really going along with other competitors and they were looking really great, and they definitely didn't embarrass themselves, and they proved to themselves and everybody else that is definitely possible. If you have weaker genetics, trust me, you need knowledge. You don't need steroids or you don't need any kind of special supplement or whatever. You just need somebody who will guide you to do this properly. I mean, I would also like to tell you one little story about myself and about my genetics. So when I decided really to start to compete first time as a teenager, people always told me, you're too tall, you're too skinny, you look like, almost like you're anorexic, you don't have good genetics, your chest look like shit, your back don't look good, your triceps is bad. Pretty much everything that they could say. And this really got me demotivated, but I never stopped and I kept going. And I proved to myself that competing in the Austrian Federation, I was always able to be at least top 3 in a super heavyweight category that is about 100 kilos. So if a tall and skinny kid was able to win medals on the World Championships and World Cup, that definitely means that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you to achieve whatever you want. This I can guarantee. So the final conclusion is this: if somebody has great genetics and willpower and dedication, is definitely going to be a champion. But if somebody has good genetics and he's lazy and unmotivated, he's not going to achieve anything in life. If somebody doesn't have good genetics, but he's fully motivated, disciplined, dedicated, he can always beat the first guy with genetics who is not doing anything, no matter what. So trust in yourself, and I guarantee you that you will be able to achieve whatever you want. If you want my help with this, that we work one-on-one, the link is below in the description. Write me in the comment section your opinion about this. Please like and subscribe. Till next time, let your progress begin.